Hello everyone. Parliament returns this week. A survey from ARPA signs up across Canada, an update on the executive director hiring process, and ARPA Canada before a court in Ontario this week. It's Wednesday, February 2nd, and this is Quick Updates. So Parliament returned this week after the winter break. There are several items that we will be watching closely. First of all, the government introduced a bill to amend the Broadcasting Act yesterday. This will likely be very similar to Bill C-10 from last Parliament, which some critics were calling the Internet Censorship Bill. Number two bills have been introduced in the Senate already that are worth watching. One that aims to increase protections against online access from sexually explicit materials for young people, and the other tackling human trafficking. Third, the changes to euthanasia from last Parliament for mental health come into effect in 2023. And so we're hoping to see action to respond to this and other elements of the euthanasia expansion that we find very concerning. Number four, the government has also promised hate speech legislation, which may be an interesting mixture of positive changes relating to online pornography and concerning changes that may be affecting our freedom of speech or freedom of religion. Number five, of course, we are also hoping to continue tackling the concerning passage of Bill C-4 this past December. Now, a couple prayer requests related to that. Please pray for our leaders as at all times. Second, pray that our leaders would be aware that they are accountable before God. Third, pray for the MPs and senators who are working to pass private members' legislation to tackle some of these areas that I mentioned. Now, you can't quite hear it right now, but the Ottawa staff here have been treated to almost non-stop horn honking from the trucker convoy that's parked outside Parliament Hill this week. While the federal government hasn't changed its mind on ending vaccine mandates, there does seem to be some shifting on the policies at the provincial level. BC and Saskatchewan have begun talking about ending mandates, and the government of Quebec has recently backed away from their proposal to tax unvaccinated citizens. Now, we'll be keeping an eye on the situation here. Now, ARPA Canada launched a survey on abortion. Here is Anna with more on that.
Yesterday, ARPA Canada launched a survey on the perspectives and experiences of Reformed Christians in relation to abortion. We Need a Law is hoping to use this information to inform our presentations and communications. Right now, all the survey data we have is generally from generic Canadian surveys that just include abortion amongst other things. So we wanted some data that was more specific to the Christian community. The survey is open now. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes to complete, and we'd love if you would take a few minutes this week to complete it. It's open to anyone aged 16 or older, so encourage your older teens to participate as well. As you know, we do a lot of presentations in places like churches and schools. We want to make sure that our message is reflective of the realities that our audiences are facing and that we aren't making assumptions. And we're hopeful that the data from this survey will help us to do that better.
Thanks so much, Anna. Last week, Friday, marked 34 years since the Morgentaler decision that struck down Canada's abortion law. You took action to mark this somber anniversary, including participating in our Signs Up campaign, writing letters to the editor, and sending postcards to members of Parliament. Here are a few clips of what took place.
We stood on the side of the road telling people about how Canada has no laws on abortion and has had that for about 34 years, and it's about time we get some laws on abortion. Everyone agree? Yeah!
Thanks so much to everyone who was able to take part in that. Now, Mark has an update for us on the executive director hiring process.
Hey, thanks so much, Colin. Some of you are wondering about the status of the executive director position that we've advertised. Now, I'm very thankful to report that God has brought some quality individuals forward to apply for this role. And so our board of directors right now is going through this process of interviews and reference checks, and they're also meeting on Friday. So I do ask that you please join us in praying over this entire process for the candidates, also for our board of directors, that all of this will culminate in a beautiful end result where a leader is chosen who has a passion, a love for this mission, and most of all, love for God and his people. Thank you so much, and back to you, Colin.
Thanks so much, Mark. Andre and Tabitha have been in court in Ontario this week. Here's Andre with more.
Well, thanks so much, Colin. So arguments have just wrapped up in the case involving church lockdowns here in Ontario, and ARPA Canada was able to intervene in this case as well. We brought arguments about institutional pluralism or sphere sovereignty is maybe the way you would understand it, brought that to bear in the court. We talked about the importance of freedom of assembly and freedom of religion. We talked about how important it is for the governments to only minimally impair these charter rights when they pursue their various objectives with their laws and their orders. The judge was very engaged, listened very well, was very engaged with great questions for all sides, and I'm very thankful for how it went. We now have to wait for a little while, perhaps a few months, for the judge to release her decision. In the meantime, all of you can join us in praying for the judge that she might have wisdom in order to make a good ruling, and we look forward to hearing about the outcome very soon. We'll, of course, keep you updated when that happens. Back to you, Colin.
Thanks so much, Andre. Please join us in praying for a favorable outcome. That's it for Quick Updates this week. Thanks to you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.